Hello everyone, it is I, Pyro07, and today I will be reviewing Mattel's Jurassic World Battle Damage Monolophosaurus. So Monolophosaurus, before the review, was a medium-sized theropod that could grow up to 18 feet long from Jurassic China. Despite meaning single-crested lizard, named after the singular crest on its nose right there, it was not related to the earlier Dilophosaurus, which was from the early Jurassic. This guy's from the late Jurassic. Instead, it's believed to have been somewhat related to animals like Allosaurus or Metriacanthosaurus. Anyway, so, review now. This is a medium-sized animal and a pretty decent model for a Monolophosaurus, if I do say so myself. Its coloration is nice. It's this pale green for the most of the body, with a darker green, both stripes and spots along its neck and back, and more so stripes along the tail, with a pale creamish white underside, but really only on the main body, nothing on the neck or tail. It has non-pronated wrists, which means that its hands are like this, which, if it were real, is good, because that means its hands are not broken. It doesn't seem to be too shrink-wrapped. Can't really see any fenestra on its head. It doesn't have any lips, but it's Jurassic World, so I can't complain there. And also, the teeth seem to be decently proportioned in comparison to the size of its mouth. Its eye is just a simple yellow blob with the same color as its main body for the pupil, and I would complain if Mattel didn't do that a lot, and if this wasn't one of their first dinosaurs, because this was made back in 2018, so it was one of their first dinosaurs, so they didn't exactly get, well, I don't think they had the painting down right, because they've definitely done better paint jobs more recently. So yeah, that's basically the physical design, besides for the scales. The scales on this thing are actually pretty well made, actually. You can feel them down from the neck, which is a little bit smoother, onto its body. There's definitely some scales on the legs, but most certainly you can feel them on the tail. The tail definitely has tiny little scale details, and that's cool. The back has a single row of spines or ridges running from the back of its head all the way to the very end of the tail that progressively get smaller as they go along the body, so that's pretty cool. The feet do not seem to be overly large, considering the ankle is like way up here, and it's standing pretty well on its toes for both feet. The left foot could be standing on more toe than necessary, but they need to put the DNA scan code for the FACSAP somewhere, so I can't blame them. But other than that, it seems that it's standing pretty decently well on its feet. Articulation-wise, this thing is battle damage, so it's posable, but not as much as, I'll say, a super posable or an amber collection animal. Well, then again, none of them are as posable as those. The legs are actually less posable than they are on Attack Pack and Savage Strike, or really any of the typical medium-sized animals. They can go that far back, this far forwards, front, or the right leg for some reason goes further forwards, but there we go. For a stand, it's like that. And that's really it. There's not much else leg articulation besides that they can stick out to help with support standing. And I'm not sure about every model, but my model definitely needs the legs to stick out to stand. Well, at least more realistically, because now the toes are off the ground. The arms can move in a 360 circle, and they can also stick out some for like an attacking position. The neck can move up and down. Oops. Well, and also there's this flap on the side here, which is pretty well camouflaged. otherwise, like, it's pretty well camouflaged. You can't see anything besides a weird little light bump there. And that bump is what brings this slide back up. Press it, you activate the battle damage feature, which has the cool slash marks on it. My model, I can actually get it to stick halfway open, so it's like partially damaged. That's, I don't know if all of them can do that, but mine can, and that's pretty decent. And then if you want, like if you're playing with your dinosaurs and you want it like this, then okay, this looks pretty cool. Otherwise, if it's like a shelf for display, or if it's healthy and uninjured, it looks like that, and it is perfectly camouflaged. And I was trying to show that the mouth can open. There we go, got it to open now. The mouth can open, showing pretty decent teeth on the lower jaw, a nice colored tongue, decent amount of like gum or whatever this is. I've never really known the red bit at the back of the mouth. I've always assumed it's like the gum or something, but I don't really know. The roof of the mouth is unfortunately not colored, but the back of the mouth is, and you can pose the mouth to be at different levels of openness. So you can have it like at a typical or regular level if it's making a simple sound. You can have it unnaturally wide, like beyond unnaturally wide if it were attacking something. Usually I just keep it at this level of wide because it's realistic. Or you could keep it completely shut, which is also pretty realistic. A color detail I just now noticed I missed was the crest is a light gray, like kind of like a stone gray. So that the fact that they called the crest to be a different color is pretty nice, and shows the theory that its Monolophosaurus' crest may have been different colors to attract mates. So that's actually a pretty nice detail they added. Anyway, this thing, I got this thing last year for free. It was just like a gift, but it was purchased online, and that said, I don't remember how much it cost. I do know, however, that this usually comes in a 2-set with the Monolophosaurus and a battle-damaged T-Rex. However, the person who was selling this guy was only selling the Monolophosaurus, and this is really all I wanted since I have enough T-Rex, way too many T-Rex. And so I'm actually happy with only getting the Monolophosaurus. It's a very nice model. Captures the dinosaur pretty decently. The tail is definitely well-lengthed in comparison to the size of the body. It's overall a nice animal, a cool animal, and one I wouldn't expect Mattel to make on their first wave of dinosaurs ever back in 2018. But anyway, with that said, this was the Monolophosaurus Battle Damage. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I will be seeing you again in the next one. Goodbye.